Good evening and welcome to tonight's broadcast of the Total Nonstop Racing League live from Homestead-Miami Speedway for the Schue's Lawn Care Grand Finale here at Homestead. Joining me in the booth, as always, is Joe. I'm Bob. And Joe, this track here at Homestead-Miami Speedway is a blast and is absolutely fitting for a championship race.
Absolutely. I think one of my favorite tracks, just because you can go real fast.
The speed will absolutely be key here for a lot of these drivers as they're coming up, getting themselves ready to go. Here's Ace House, one of the first drivers to put up a lap time, however, is Philip Scott. He goes in with a 34.214. We'll jump on board with Scott as he runs the bottom through 1 and 2. And this is one of those tracks, Joe, where, you know, you said the speed is key. You can run the top, you can run the middle, you could run the bottom, you can run everywhere and be just as fast, if not faster than the lap before. As we see Scott running the bottom, Adam Stewart in front of him running the top side. And let's see what this lap time was for Scott. That was a 34.214, and that'll put him P1 so far.
Yep. I was following Jeremy Canute, but he seemed to got a little loose, and I think he reset. He lost his bumper real quick.
I think we just saw those witness marks coming out of turn 2, so we'll see. The 87, he resets back to the pits. Here's Jamar Dumas, so far second fastest on the board. Can he improve his lap? Does not look like it. No, a 34.6. As there is the king, Jeremy Canute, running the access road out of 1 and 2. And that is one thing to keep an eye out for, Joe, as this race goes on, especially when it comes to green flag pit stops. They have to run the access road through turns 1 and 2 just to give themselves, you know, obviously those are the rules for coming out to pit. But the thing these drivers have to keep an eye out for when they run is just watch out. There's really not nearly enough grip to run full speed down there on that access road. So, you know, these drivers are going to have to keep an eye out for that, while also not going full throttle through the corner.
Gotcha. So there's no speed limit in there. It's just kind of like good luck.
Exactly. Just go as hard as you can. Look at Jamar Dumas running down there, and that, you know, it's very easy to lose the back end because it's flat. There's no grip to it, and there's no banking. So you really have to, you know, hold the car steady through that section.
Yeah, I guess that also adds out if you're coming out of the pits. You usually got fresh new tires, so it's not even like they're heated up to give you a little bit more grip.
Exactly, and that, you know, that's the key for these drivers, just to be mindful of those tires. Is here they come in out of turn number 2, and look at Jason Schue there getting a good run behind Nick Simpson. A little drafting help for both of those drivers, and they're both running the bottom.
Oof.
As, Schue trying to get around the 3, or the 11 rather. And just a bad spot for them to catch each other.
Yeah. You know, you were talking about how slippery it is, this and that. It's 135 degrees on track right now.
Yeah, little spicy track temperature there. So not a whole lot of grip. Cars are going to get quite slidey and sideways. Oh, Jason Schue has exactly that. Almost as if it were on cue.
Unfortunately, looking at the weather, we are not getting any clouds. So this is typical Miami weather, I guess.
Yeah, minus the threat of rain every 30 seconds. But 84-degree air temp, 11-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Or sustained winds of 11 miles an hour. So that is going to be another thing these drivers are going to have to deal with. So Jamar Dumas goes for a little spin.
Oh, yeah. No,
Jeremy Canute into the wall, too.
He seems to be having trouble over there.
And you can see that flag blown. They're going to get a huge tailwind coming out of 4, which, right there when the cars are kind of coming across the wind and the wind comes down, it's going to make them quite loose. Go on corner exit. But as we say that, we see drivers finishing up their lap times. And now the field is getting ready to grid here for the Jason Schue Lawn Care finale. We'll take a look here at the starting lineup for tonight's race. Philip Scott gets the pole with a lap time of 34.178. Shane Ewing on his outside, just 0.3 behind. Row number 2, we see Jamar Dumas and Nick Simpson, with Jason Schue and Adam Stewart in row number 3. Row number 4, we have Ace House and Jeremy Canute. Row number 5, Anthony DeBarro and Tim Branson. And then rounding up our 11-car field for this evening will be the number 43 of Johnny Williams. So right now, just waiting for drivers to get into their cars. Looks like we're waiting for 1 or 2 more drivers before we're able to get things underway. 101 laps here tonight at Homestead-Miami Speedway. You see that track temperature did not change, and the wind has actually picked up a degree, or mile an hour rather, so 12 mile an hour winds.
And away we go.
So you'll wind up seeing the drivers and the make and model of their cars going across the top of your screen. Philip Scott going to be taking the green flag. And Joe, coming into tonight's race, it's all but a foregone conclusion that Anthony DeBarro is your 2025 B season champion. Philip Scott and John Cannizzaro Jr. were fighting for second place, but with Cannizzaro out and not starting tonight, looks like Philip Scott, barring anything too wild and crazy, should be our second place finisher in the points. We'll take a look at the point standings once we get underway.
Yeah, crazy season with these cars.
Yeah, definitely a different season for TNR as the pace car pulls off. Green flag is in the air, and we are racing here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Adam Stewart gets a little bit squirrely, but Philip Scott's going to get the whole shot. He's going to jump around the 32 of Shane Ewing, and we are underway. Field getting sped up here out of turn number 2. Shane Ewing following closely behind in second. Anthony DeBarro starting shotgun on the field. Already up 2 spots through the back straightaway. He's back down to 7th. A little bit further back of the pack. Here's a good battle. Ace House on the top side. Jason Schue down low with Anthony DeBarro in the middle. Nick Simpson trying to hold them all off. Simpson ducks down in front of the 27 of DeBarro. They're going to stick to being side by side. Here comes, whoa, Ace House very loose. Hold on to it, Ace. Somehow he does.
It's a little too early to go meet the wall.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm a little bit surprised that everyone's kind of sticking to the bottom to start, but that might just be where the best grip is right now. That is another
oh no.
issue. Is Jason Schue, Adam Stewart looks like they might have had an issue.
Yeah, I think Williams or Branson, someone got really lucky there.
And whoa, Let's take one more look at that, because that got interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks
Stewart,
like that might have been a matter of netcode. Let's take a look here. 3 got into the wall. Stewart came down. The 3 just kind of moved down. And then there was some blinking between the 3 and the 4.
Yeah, which saved.
And whoa!
Which saved the 87 of Canute. Well, I'm sure had a brown pant moment.
Oh, yeah.
And then 10 seconds later, had another brown pant moment.
Yeah, let's take a look one more time here with that 87, because that was certainly terrifying. We'll jump on board here with the 87 as we see the 3 right there. Just gets a little squirrely. He gets in the wall. Canute obviously has to let go. Big blink. That blink might have saved the front end of the 87, and then whoa!
Yep. Just 2 back-to-backs. Oof.
That was terrifying.
Twice.
Meanwhile, out front, Philip Scott's opened up about a second lead over the 32 of Shane Ewing. Jamar Dumas there. Anthony DeBarro up 5 to 4th. Johnny Williams did not start the race, so he's pulled aside. Seven laps into this one, Philip Scott is your leader.
It's interesting to see Scott pull away so much.
Yeah, I mean, he's opened up to a 1.2 second lead. And I mean, Philip was saying that this is kind of his track. This really is in his wheelhouse. And Homestead has always been a really good track for that 99 machine.
Yeah, he's walking the walk.
Taking a look here at the point standings coming into tonight's race. DeBarro has it by over 100 and almost 130 points over Cannizzaro Jr. Philip Scott has a 7-point deficit, or Philip Scott rather has a 7-point deficit over John Cannizzaro Jr. in second and third. Jamar Dumas in fourth, pretty comfortably there. So really the only big point swap that we're going to see here is Philip Scott going to be finishing second should everything, everything finish out properly. But those are your standings coming into tonight's race. A couple of drivers within striking distance of one another, Schue and House. That'll be a good points battle to keep an eye out on. Tim Branson very likely will be passing Mike Tellier for 12th in the standings. But next season, already looking forward to a new car, new track types, and a series that I think fans are going to be very excited for. So definitely want to tune into that early 2026. Going to take the rest of November off, all of December off, and likely a fair amount of January off as well before we get underway.
But it will be missed.
Definitely. And it is likely that we'll be driving the Xfinity cars to start next season. Or I guess by that time they will be considered the O'Reilly Auto Parts cars, with the new O'Reilly Auto Parts sponsors coming into real life NASCAR.
Are they?
They are. That is what the Xfinity Series is going to be next year, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series.
Interesting. I would sing the little hum, but I don't want to get a copyright strike.
I'm just sad we're not going to hear drivers say my car was almost as fast as Xfinity Internet.
Yeah, which would have meant they're really slow.
Well, they'd get paid, you know, a couple $100, and whoever got the for every mention, and then whoever got the whoever said it on TV the most got a bonus.
Hilarious.
So drivers would actually fight each other on how many times they can say that their car was almost as fast as Xfinity Mobile.
It really would be a knock on your pit crew to be that slow.
Right. Just saying, Xfinity Internet has been keeping these broadcasts afloat, so...
It has not been without issues, though.
I mean, in fairness, it's been more so my overlay stuff giving me issues.
That is true. That is true. DeBarro has caught up and gotten to second place. However, Scott has a commanding lead.
Yeah, 2.9 seconds almost. And let's see if DeBarro is going to be able to catch him.
It's looking like he is making up a little bit of time. I don't know how fast. I guess he was catching, and now he's... it's back and forth. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, these last 5 laps have been relatively even. The only big outlier there was lap 13, where Philip Scott was about 1/10 of a second faster than DeBarro, but the rest of the time it's been, you know, 21 1,000ths, 36 1,000ths. You saw right there, DeBarro was faster by 7 100ths this time by, 8 last time by, so they're both kind of matching each other's pace, but not really able to drive away all that much. There you see the gap between the 99 and the 27. The top 4 have all driven away. Jamar Dumas is about a 6-second lead over Ace House, who's got about a 1.5 over Nick Simpson. And then just behind Simpson, that is where the biggest cluster of drivers are. That's Jeremy Canute, Tim Branson, Jason Schue, and Adam Stewart making up that battle.
Yeah, it's really interesting on the map. 1, 2, 3, and 4 relatively spread out, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are all, you know, in eye shot.
Yeah, there you see all the drivers on track, and yeah, the 99, the 27, the 32, the 28, all fairly equidistant to one another. Then a big gap to the 47, and then from 5th place on back are just a big battle as we see, oh, the 87 has a big issue. Let's take a look there as, oh, Canute has a big moment. Let's take a look here on the Tabletop Trio replay as we see him already up in the wall. Got loose, kept it sideways, and well, it just does Jason Schue tribute for the Schue's lawn care through the grass and back out on track.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice that that little auxiliary track is out there.
Yeah, really.
What little grip it gave him was enough to right itself. Looks like Schue and Stewart are going back and forth.
Yeah, let's take a look there because they did have a little bit of contact earlier on in the race when Schue had gotten into the wall, Stewart into Schue. However, that was about 15 to 20 laps ago as the 3 has an issue, and now Jeremy Canute heads down pit road.
I wonder... Let's get some tires.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see what this call is by the 87. Zoe overdrives his pit box too.
Mm.
And yes, tires are getting put on that 87 machine. He is, however, going to go 1 lap down. .14.5-second pit stop with Canute down and away. Canute very close to actually going 2 down. And there he goes. So certainly behind the 8 ball is the 87.
How are we looking here for pitting?
You know, I'm intrigued to see because, oh, Navarro gets real squirrely coming at it too. You can see that tailwind out of 4 down the front straightaway really is catching a lot of these drivers off guard.
Yeah.
But as far as the pit situation is concerned, I don't fully know. We may see like a lap 30, 60, 100, 35, 70 finish. Not entirely sure here as we got a great battle for position between the 11 and the 47. Big moves here. Tim Branson just kind of waiting in the wings, licking his chops, saying, all right, boys, have at it.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to be the only one to say it, but Ace House's front bumper kind of looks like he has a mustache going on.
It does a little bit. Little bit of a green or orange mustache.
Hit him with the Hogan.
Fitting as we ride on board with the All Elite Wrestling machine of Tim Branson. Can I tell you the difference? Absolutely not. Jason Schue heads down pit road.
I wonder that's out of necessity or according to plan.
You know, that is a wonderful question.
Yeah. Let's see, they got 4 sets of tires, so maybe they are doing 25, 50, 75? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, that very well could be too. Whoa, Nick Simpson gets squirrely. Oh, he's still squirrely. That is going to cause a big ol' stack up here on the 92 and the 47. There are those drivers fighting right here. Great looking AEW car. Oh, House scrapes the wall. These cars are not driving happy right now. Warm temperatures on track. 136 degrees baking in this Miami sun.
Ah, good. So it's gone up a degree.
As has the wind, now 13 miles an hour. Jason Schue 1 lap down. Should a yellow come out, Schue will be the beneficiary. As Ace House makes his way onto pit road. Oh, he's looking hot there. Looks like he might have kept on pit road. We will certainly see. Meanwhile, Philip Scott's lead over Anthony DeBarro has grown to 3.5 seconds.
Yeah, which is just absolutely wild.
And look at that. He's been faster than DeBarro the last 5 laps and growing.
Yeah. I know they say that this track eats tires, and it's all about, you know, your throttle position and your... But usually that's DeBarro's game.
Well, DeBarro heading down pit road, and we might be looking at a 30-60-40. Yeah, 30-60 end.
Wild.
But this is one of those where DeBarro just has to kind of take a victory lap as he's got this championship completely wrapped up. Tim Branson down on pit road too. You see the wind whipping on that flag coming out of turn 4. Philip Scott ducks into pit road now as DeBarro is underway. Looks like Ace House did not collect a penalty. Oh, maybe he did, as he's now out of the race. And oh, Adam Stewart getting squirrely out of 4. But he'll keep it underneath.
I don't know. I see that back end swaying back and forth a little bit.
Yeah, let's head to the replay there, because that was a pretty crazy save there from that number 4 machine. Let's catch with him through turn 3. Gets down on the bottom. You see right here, he's going to cross the seam. That shoots the car up track, and oh, that looked a lot worse from the other camera, but trust me, it is not fun in that driver's seat when the car does that. Shane Ewing has inherited the lead over Jamar Dumas. Dumas, though, right on his tail, about almost 7/10 back. Looking to put the pressure in on that 32 machine. And this might just be a game of chicken where Ewing is going to run it out as long as he can. Dumas is going to try to chase him as long as he can. We'll see who blinks first. Ace House in the chat saying, literally the only track I hate racing at, and it has to be the last race of the season. Yeah, there's something about the lack of grip that always catches me out of place, so I 1000% understand, Ace.
Yeah, I live out of pace, so like, yeah, it's fine.
You're like, yeah, I'll take any advantage I can get.
Yeah, you're in my land now.
But we got ourselves a great looking battle here between the 28 and the 32. Neither driver has yet to pit. The top 4 drivers have not pit yet.
Yeah, I wonder when they are. Especially Stewart. He's kind of been all over the place track-wise. I'm surprised his tires are tires.
Yeah, I'm honestly, I'm a little bit surprised that they haven't, completely fallen off the car yet, because, we've seen them sliding quite a bit. That's going to put heat in the tire. Excess heat is going to mean excess wear, and I'm sure the car is not handling all too well, but I mean, Right now, though, these two guys just very consistent drivers, both of them, and they're keeping their stuff underneath of them.
Yeah. I mean, that being said, Scott is rapidly picking up time.
Yeah, Philip Scott last time by was about 23 seconds back. He's gained about 2 seconds in closing, and he's right about now actually getting ready to get around the 4 of Adam Stewart. There is Stewart there. You know, I absolutely love those flyby cams, especially that one right on the front stretch underneath the flagman's gantry. Scott does get around the 4 of Adam Stewart. Meanwhile, up front, Shane Ewing still has about half a second over Jamar Dumas.
I got to imagine they're probably going to come down at lap 40. Well, I just 40,
well,
80.
let's see here. Or maybe they're trying to hold out as long as they can and try to split it, do 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe the one-stop strategy is better than the two-stop. It's going to be interesting to see that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Scott, over the course of, what, 5 laps, has made up 6 seconds?
Yeah, let's take a look here for Philip Scott. And we'll see here, definitely not talking about the winner at IRP, but Philip's last lap, you see it right there, Joe. The leader just did a 36.1. Philip's last lap was a 34.8.
Yeah, so like 1.4 seconds?
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you think about it that way, you got 9 to go. You're losing a second and a half a lap. And then you're going to do that again. I don't know. It's going to be close.
It is. I mean, that's a 9-second difference there that Scott is going to be making up, essentially. So I'm intrigued as Philip Scott this time by gets around Nick Simpson and Jason Schue. He's already gotten ahead of Anthony Tabarro. Which, with Tabarro, he just has to kind of... He honestly doesn't even need to show up.
Yeah, I was just going to say. He can crash out right now. It doesn't matter.
Jamar Dumas fallen back, now 1.3 behind. And, Joe, the more we see this, the more I am thinking that these guys are taking the one-stop strategy.
I'm just surprised that the tires are giving them that.
We see Nick Simpson and Adam Stewart, the other 2 drivers who have yet to pit. Simpson all over the back bumper of Jason Schue. Schue is 1 lap down, as is Tim Branson. Jeremy Canute has gotten 1 of his laps back. Five laps away from the halfway point here tonight in the Schue's Lawn Care Grand Finale. Shane Ewing, the leader. by virtue of yet being one of the 4 drivers who have yet to pit.
Refusing to pit.
But we'll see how this strategy plays out.
Yeah, let's see. Where's Scott? Scott is still 10 seconds behind, 4 laps to go. So, I mean, yep, maybe this works.
Yeah, because, I mean, obviously Scott is going to get back around these 2.
Right.
But we'll see that gap. And we may have a good idea, depending on cautions and if everything falls the proper way.
That's the big one.
But everyone has been fairly clean tonight.
That being said, if they can go like 55 laps, I think that's a different story. I think that becomes a lot harder for Scott to make up that time.
Yeah, I think that's exactly that's definitely going to be interesting. Just to kind of see what happens.
Yeah.
As we see Scott catching up to the 92 of Tim Branson. Scott making it look easy. Tim Branson last pit on lap 30. Philip Scott on lap 31. So they do have equal tires. The gap for Shane Ewing over Jamar Dumas has now grown to about 2 seconds. Philip Scott about 4 behind Dumas. Now Shane Ewing heads down pit road. Oh, no! Shane Ewing loops it heading on to pit road. Might see a little bit of damage on that right front. Hey, you can see where the panel is a little loose. Let's take a look here to see what happened.
I got him. His tires are just shot.
Yeah, let's take a listen. Let's hear if there was any wheel hop, because it is a little treacherous getting down onto pit road. Here's Ewing, driver cam. Right there, you can see he's already a little loose. And then, oh yeah, you hear the engine, the woo. That was some wheel hop. Luckily, not a whole lot of contact.
No, just time loss. But yeah, I mean, we knew that those tires were shot, but I don't know how he was driving straight.
Yeah, that was incredible. Watching how he had to steer hard right just to kind of keep it okay. And we see a little bit of right rear damage as well. But that honestly may help. That kind of may help keeping that right rear out of the wind.
Yeah.
So that'll move things up to Philip Scott. Only 2 drivers now who have yet to pit, as Jason Schue's down on pit road. Simpson and Adam Stewart. Adam Stewart now on pit road. So Nick Simpson, the only driver who has yet to pit. As we see Philip Scott and Anthony DeBarro fighting it out. This is the gap between those 2 drivers, 0.8 seconds. Or 0.8 of a second.
Yeah, DeBarro, much more competitive this stint thus far.
Yeah, I think the first stint was him just kind of feeling the car, seeing how it's gonna, how it's gonna work. Nick Simpson there in third, yet to pit. Still not going to pit as Jeremy Canute heads down pit road. Tires going on to that 87 Bully Hill Vineyards machine.
Yeah, this time around, DeBarro really not letting him get too far away.
Yeah, he's pretty content with just kind of hanging out there in the draft for Philip Scott. This right here, a very close battle between Jamar Dumas and Tim Branson. Dumas honestly in a very good position, especially because he did pit coming down on lap 50. And this is the gap. Dumas, however, is one lap down.
But Simpson does still have to pit.
Yes, Simpson does still have to pit. Dumas, though, in first of the drivers who do not need to pit. As Simpson makes his way onto pit road, we'll see if the two-stop strategy versus the one-stop strategy, how that's going to play out. I really think this is going to be super intriguing as this race goes on. But like you said, yes, he is one lap down. However, these drivers do typically tend to lose a lap on pit road because it takes about 45 some odd seconds to make their way all the way, all the way down. We'll take a look here at Nick Simpson. He's in his box, still on pit road. Now he's down and away, a little bit longer of a stop, but right there, coming off of pit road, 47 seconds to go from pit entry to pit exit. And you have to get up to speed. So we'll call it 55 seconds. Yeah. These drivers right now are doing 35-second laps, so you will lose a lap going down pit road.
Yeah, absolutely. Nope. Looks like Canute had some issues. I don't see it as a... Oh, now I got the one. Oh.
Let's take a look to see what happened to that 87. That was a very long incident.
Yeah, I was wondering what... I got the alert way after it was over.
So we're on board with the 87. Gets loose. Nails the inside wall.
It just drags. Just lets it go.
Yeah, that's just one of those wall drags of acceptance there.
I wonder if he had I wonder if he had throttle issues, because he's steering, but he's got no.
Yeah, but I don't know if that left front is. Oh yeah, no, that left front is not pointed in the proper direction. That left front is pointing towards the left.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is not a very happy left front tire.
Yeah,
no. It looks to me the 87 might be pulling it off.
Yeah, I don't know if he ran into throttle issues.
That is a very good question.
Because it looks like he was still rolling there.
He very well could have.
Well, it's one way to stop the car. I just try to drag it against the wall. Uh-oh.
Oh, trouble. Oh, championship contender has an issue with the 28, and this might have just thrown Jamar Dumas's one-stop strategy out the window and his lucky dog.
Yeah.
Let's see what happened here. Oh, yeah, just a little bit of contact.
Was it contact first, or did DeBarro get loose?
Let's find out here, because I am intrigued. Let's go on board here with the 28 of Dumas. So Dumas gets a great run out of the corner. Drives it in down low. Mind you, he's got 20 some odd lap fresher tires. No. You were absolutely right, Joe. The 27 got loose.
Yeah, it looked like there was no contact, but you could never be sure with iRacing because the net code and it looks what we see might not be what looks like they see, but yeah, look, he just got loose.
So he gets loose.
Does Dumas get the go around?
He may not. He may not get the wave around. Let's see if Shane Ewing heads down pit road. I think Shane Ewing is the one who got the free pass. And yes, Shane Ewing, the free pass driver, because Dumas was technically a part of the incident. So that's going to put Shane Ewing right back into this after spinning coming onto pit road during green flag pit stops.
Yeah. And it gives him pits that he wanted. I was going to say that's not what Dumas or Ewing want as their plan was unfolding, but it inadvertently put Ewing in a fantastic position.
Yeah, that definitely helped out the DeBar's Dizzy Motorsports teammate and Shane Ewing. However, it looks like Dumas and Simpson both are taking the wave around, so we'll move those guys also back on the lead lap. So now with 3 cars out of the race, there's effectively 8 cars left because, 8 plus 3 is 11. Look at me knowing math.
We got to the end of the season, but we got there.
So we'll see how this one's going to go. Just about the halfway point in this race, or just past the halfway point, coming on the lap 64. The rest of the field going to come flying in to get a great jump as DeBarro spins the tires. I just kind of think DeBarro's out here just having fun, as almost gets in the back of the 99.
Yeah, I think maybe he's just trying to figure out, what worked for me the whole season. Let's see what doesn't.
Yeah, let me see what else is happening here. As DeBarro heads down to the bottom. And we have a new leader. Anthony DeBarro, or do we? Here comes Philip Scott to the inside.
Yeah, he's a no, not this track.
Scott taking the preferred line down low. But Tabarro now out front. It's going to be interesting now to see where everyone else kind of decides to set up shop. Great battle here for the lead. Anthony Tabarro has it. Philip Scott wants it. A little bit further back, Jamar Dumas trying to put a little pressure on the 4 of Adam Stewart. Stewart coming down to the bottom, getting a little loose out of 2. Shane Ewing back there dueling with the 92 of Tim Branson. This is not for position. Over in the chat, Jeremy Knut says, well, my wreck was embarrassing. Lost traction out of 4 and just couldn't save it. Yeah, we've seen a lot of that in this race, so no need to feel embarrassed. Just about everyone has done it, including right now our leader, Anthony Tabarro, which somehow, after having that incident, slaps on 4 fresh tires and says, all right, I guess I'm leading now.
Yeah, nobody saw that.
Especially with how just kind of relaxed the 27 was looking in the first half of this race. But now with 30 to go, he's in charge.
Absolutely, though Scott doesn't seem to be wanting to give him too much space.
No, Phillips is decidedly staying strong.
I wonder if that's a Scott saying, you know, you push harder. You make a nice, stream for me. I'll stay behind you for a little while.
Yeah, just one of those. All right, well, you give me some draft, I'll hang out, and we'll see how this goes. This battle raging on still between the 27 and the 99. And with Philip this past weekend, Philip and I, along with another friend of ours, Scott, did or at least attempted the Suzuka 1,000 kilometers.
Attempted?
Well, our race was quite stifled earlier on with a couple of different incidents. And those are really our only big incidents of the race, one of which where a car crashed and decided, well, good luck, everybody. We're driving right back onto the racing line anyway. Wound up taking us out of contention, dropped us from about 12th or about 15th, give or take, all the way down to 50th. And we spent the next 5.5 hours clawing back to a 40th place finish. However, tabletop trio racing will not be deterred, as we're going to be racing in the Daytona 24 coming up in January.
Yeah, don't you worry. Once my rig is all set up, I will drag you down further.
You're going to have to get to C license and road first. But we had a fantastic race overall. Had a lot of fun. Even if we finished 40th, it was the hardest fought 40th place finish I have ever had. Now Philip Scott trying the high line. He's going to get a good run. Can't quite get to DeBarra's bumper. That time by, Philip Scott was 1/10 of a second faster, and we see here DeBarra each lap just barely faster than Philip, as Philip there rides the wall a little bit. That's going to slow him down, potentially. That time, DeBarra picked up about 2/10 over Scott. Another close battle on the track between Shane Ewing and Jamar Dumas. Dumas picks his way up to third. Now, mind you, Dumas still on the one-stop strategy. He pitted back on lap 50 and will not need to pit again. However, that did give everyone else around him fresher tires and also the ability to not need to make it on pit road or make it down pit road for the rest of the race. So I don't know what the plan is. I mean, maybe the 28 is thinking, all right, well, if we get a yellow, that would be nice.
Yeah. But everyone else would also get a fresh set of tires. No, I don't think anybody's burned through their fourth set yet.
No, everyone has taken their 2 sets.
Right.
After being on pit road for the yellow.
Yeah, so barring something catastrophic, there's no advantage there.
So I'm not entirely sure what the plan is there, but we shall certainly see. As with this one going on, coming to 19 to go this time by, Philip Scott really trying that high side.
Yeah.
And we can just see the banking here on the 99. You can see him sawing on the wheel too, just trying to keep the car pointed in the right direction.
This track was one of the first ones that made banking like this, correct?
They were certainly early in the progressive banking fad, and I mean, this is really truly paid off for here. Used to be an old mile-and-a-half track shaped like a square, like Indianapolis. Then they made it a flat oval in this configuration in the actual true ovals layout. And then after they did that for a couple of years, they went back and made the progressive banking like we see now, and it's been just phenomenal in real life. In sim, still not something I can fully wrap my head around. I either destroy the right front tire or I just destroy my car coming out of 2 or 4.
Which we've seen a lot of tonight.
We have. But coming up here, 17 laps remaining. We still have a chance to see more of that.
Indeed.
No one should have to pit anymore.
Looks like Navarro is starting to pull away.
Yeah, he's opened up now to a 1.2 second lead. Right now, the closest battle on track is Shane Ewing trying to track down Jamar Dumas. Tim Branson is there, but he is 1 lap down. Adam Stewart right now, the lucky dog recipient, should the yellow come out. But you see Stewart there having some more connection issues.
He's really been having an issue this last few races. Looks like Schue just entered the pits.
Yeah, so Jason Schue making his way down pit road. Doesn't look like he has any damage per se. But with 13 laps remaining, he's in his box taking tires. DeBarro opens up a 1.7 second lead over Philip Scott.
I wonder if Scott cooked his tires trying to catch up to DeBarro.
Yeah, and that gap is growing. Now almost 2 seconds separating these two drivers. Oh, trouble. Philip Scott into the wall hard.
Oh, that's big trouble.
And that is going to be disaster for him.
Yeah, he's missing a bumper. We don't see the other tire, but
Let's get another look at this one. This time for the 99, he just... Oh, he made a little move to try to avoid the 3, and... Oh, hard lick. Surprised there wasn't a yellow, but he's down on the apron near no other cars.
Interesting. Oh, that tire does look like it's not great.
Yeah, and he's just pauses and jumps to the pits.
Yeah. Well,
So, just like
uh,
that, DeBarro, 15-second lead over Jamar Dumas.
I think you're gonna have to do some math now.
Now is Dumas, with 12 lap older tires than Ewing, going to be able to hold off Ewing, as his gap is now shrunk to just over a second.
Yeah. What does this mean for the 2 and 3 position at the Cup? Because as you said in the beginning, barring something crazy happening, Scott's in.
Yeah, so if we take a look here at the points, it's a 7-point difference between Philip Scott and John Cannizzaro. Now, the way the points line up, Philip would have to finish 10th or better to pass Cannizzaro. And as of right now, Philip Scott is currently sitting in the 8th position. 21 laps. Canute is 21 laps down. That being said, Jeremy Canute has already disconnected from the race. So Philip Scott, the worst he could finish is 8th, which means Philip Scott will be picking up 9 points, which will put him in front of Cannizzaro, and he will be finishing 2nd place in the standings.
So he's got that go.
So at least the wreck did not affect his championship standings.
Yeah, I didn't quite know the point math, so I figured I'd bring it up.
So with 6 laps to go, the biggest question mark now is, can Shane Ewing catch Jamar Dumas? But that gap now, Joe, has grown to 2 seconds. And whoa, Ewing got loose again out of 4.
Yeah, Jamar Dumas really starting to pull away from Shane.
I think things very much could have been different had there not been a yellow flag in this race.
Absolutely. I mean, that and Ewing kind of spinning himself out. And
As we see there, the 4 of Adam Stewart getting a little squirrely into 3. Meanwhile, out front, Anthony DeBarro, a 15-second gap over Jamar Dumas. And at this point, DeBarro can just kind of cruise and really just soak in his last couple of laps.
I was wondering what was going on with Philip Scott because I see him jumping to and from the pits. He's riding the inside track at the moment. I guess to just pick up laps.
Yeah, there he is with the very severely damaged race car. And yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. He's just going to run and try to complete as many laps as he can. He is in no danger of losing any positions, and does have 2nd place confirmed. But Anthony DeBarro coming up to 2 laps remaining here in the 2025 B season of the Total Nonstop Racing League. And Joe, this has just been a fantastic season. Although not the car counts the league was hoping to see, this has been a great season. A lot of memorable moments. Anthony DeBarro, you know, sometimes you just got to give credit where credit is due. And DeBarro just absolutely spanked the field this season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Over 100 points of a points lead. White flag is in the air. And let's just put this domination into perspective. Winners got 25 points. If you got the pole, you get an extra point. If you lead a lap, you get an extra point. If you lead the most laps, you get an extra point. And if you have the fastest lap, you get an extra point. 29 points maximum for these drivers. Anthony DeBarro has a 100-point lead over the rest of the field. So if that doesn't say domination, I don't know what is. But here comes DeBarro coming out of turn number 4. Checkered flag is in the air. Anthony DeBarro is your 2025 TNR champion.
Wild season for him.
Jamar Dumas comes home in second. Shane Ewing comes home in third. Nick Simpson in fourth, with Adam Stewart finishing the season top 5 over Tim Branson in sixth. Jason Schue, Philip Scott, Jeremy Canute, Ace House, and Johnny Williams will round out your field. But Joe, I think we're going to see something pretty special out of this number 27 machine for celebration. Little congrats tap from the 11.
I want to see him burn it down backwards.
DeBarro making his way on to the front straightaway. And there he is, Anthony DeBarro, the race winner, the dominating performance this season, and your 2025 TNR champion.
What an absolute, just amazing season for him and the Dizzy guys.
I mean, it's just downright perfection for DeBarro. If you take a look at the point standings before tonight's race, he had 16 starts, 10 wins, 14 top 5s, and 15 top 10s. This makes start number 17 for him, with 11 wins, 15 top 5s, and 16 top 10s.
Yes, an amazing. This is one of those, where do we go from here?
I don't think there's another way you could follow up this season in how dominating of a performance this was. This was similar to Jeff Gordon's 1998 season, where he won 13 of the 30 races that year.
Yeah, this is crazy.
So with that being said, we'll start moving some of these drivers over into the interview waiting room. As Anthony DeBarro continues to burn it down. Joe, I believe you've caught up with our third place finisher, Shane Ewing.
Hey, Shane, congratulations on the podium finish. Crazy race out there. You had what looks like you were going to do a one-stop race, and then there was a yellow. Kind of talk us through kind of what your plan was and what happened.
All right, looks like we're having a bit of a technical issue with Shane.
I'm here. Sorry, guys.
There we go.
There he is.
Wrong button. um, so I was saying I had nothing for Philip or Anthony, but that's nothing new. Same shit, different track. Um, I decided to do just the opposite of what they were going to do. So and then when it came time to pit, I really think I had the race won. Just you know, stepped on my 2 weeks in a row I've done that and spun it and nosed it into the wall. I had a minute of damage. I think that hurt me some. And caution coming out probably helped me a little bit to finish where I did. But that thing stays green the whole way. Um, I think I had a shot, at least the best shot I've had all year by putting her in victory lane.
Yeah, absolutely. We thought you had it there. We were doing the math on, if Scott could catch up versus what your lap times were putting down, and we at least, granted, our math has been absolutely atrocious all season, but to us it looked like the numbers were lining up correctly. With that,
Buddy, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, with that, were there any adjustments that you had to make for the last stint of the race?
No, just try not to overdrive it. But with that damage, and starting, lucky dog tail end, um, I think I wore the tires a little more. And I got to Jamar, but even with older tires, he was still better than I was at the end. So, fortunate to finish where I did with how bad I drove tonight. Thanks to my teammate Anthony. Congratulations to him on just an incredible season and a dominant race, and he's helped me a lot. Trying to teach an old dog new tricks on how to drive these things. And eventually I may get it.
Absolutely. I'm sure you got some shout outs for us.
Yeah, yeah. All you guys at Tabletop Trio, you do a hell of a job. My mom loves listening to you guys. Told you that before, and I really enjoy running here. I'd love to make it every week. Just first class guys. We didn't really have a whole lot of trouble at all with anybody this year. So I think the league in general should be proud of that, and Garrett and everything he puts on. Doesn't go unappreciated by any of us. And a shout out to some of the guys that haven't been here very long. Ace House, you talk about an improvement from when he first got on here to now. Has done a great job all year. Nick, Adam, Tim ran a great race. Everybody. So I want to say it's a privilege running with these guys, and a privilege talking to you guys every week. And look, I don't want us to take a break. I know everybody else probably does, but I'm ready to get in a new car and go somewhere next week.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been fantastic. Watching all you guys race and all the improvements week over week with you guys. And, it's been great to chatting with you guys, or with you specifically, the few times that we were able to. Hopefully we'll be doing that more in the next season.
Sounds good to me, buddy. You guys have a great Thanksgiving, happy holidays, and we'll go kick some ass in the new year together.
Absolutely. You too. Congratulations again.
That is Shane Ewing, our third place finisher here at TNR. Now we're joined by our second place finisher, driver of the number 28 machine, Jamar Dumas. And Jamar, second place. Looks like you had a very different strategy than everyone else. Looked like you and Shane were kind of doing the one-stop strategy. And if it weren't for that yellow, what do you think your chances were?
Well, I think they were actually pretty good. I was doing the calculations, and I was thinking that I was going to be able to catch, or those guys wasn't going to catch me by the end of the race. So I think it was going to be a good race until I spun Anthony. I packed his air on his back bumper, and I got him to turn around.
We were looking at that, and at first we saw, okay, I wasn't sure if it was just a big speed difference or what, and then we went on board. It looked like he just kind of lost it there by himself, might have crossed the seam or something like that, and you were in the position for the free pass, but it looked like because you had gotten that incident as making a little bit of contact, you wound up not getting the free pass. Do you think getting the wave around, I mean, obviously it didn't hurt you because you still finished second, but do you think if you were able to pit there, things would have been a little bit different, or what do you kind of think there?
Philip and Anthony, man, they were just so much faster than us, especially on the longer run. I don't think even if I had fresher tires, I don't think I could have caught those two dudes. Um, yeah.
It's been one heck of a season. We're going to take a little bit of a break, hopefully looking like we're going to be doing Xfinity cars potentially next season. Do you have any, end of season remarks?
Yeah, just a bunch of good guys here this season. A lot of good racing. I was fortunate enough to win one at Talladega, and I'm looking forward to the next season. Thanks to everybody hosting. Thanks for doing these streams, and I want to give a shout out to my daughter Madison. She's always watching on YouTube.
Awesome. Well, Jamar, congrats on the second place finish, and looking forward to chatting with you next season.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right. That's Jamar Dumas, our second place finisher here. And looks like Joe has been able to make his way down to victory lane to chat with our race winner and champion, Anthony DeBarro.
Hey, Anthony, congratulations. The race, the championship, the season, you name it, you've won it. How's it feel?
Well, I guess I made this one look good with the spin and win, right?
Yeah.
I first of all, I just wanted a shout to Philip. He had some speed tonight, and I don't if I didn't spin there, the deal with Jamar, like I don't even think Jamar touched me. Like the air, I don't know what happened, but all I know is like I went around, and luckily the damage, there was none when I pitted, so I knew I restarted second. I was like, I have to get control of this race because I know the dirty air is really, really like it's there with these cars, and it just made it looser. So I knew I had to get command, and I knew I just hit my marks, and then Philip would eventually fall off, and I just got lucky, you know. I didn't hit anything. Like I guess it just I all the luck I've had this year. It's just I guess it doesn't run out yet.
Absolutely. Now, it seemed like you and Philip had a pit strategy, I guess, to break the race up into thirds. And then some of the other guys were going to do it just a one stop. Did you kind of have to adjust kind of what your game plan was? Because, like you were saying in that first stint, Philip was way, way in front of you. And we were like, this is not Anthony's usual. So
Yeah,
what was going on?
it took a lot out of my tires to get through they elected to start the rear. It took a lot of my tires to get to second, especially when I got to fourth, like riding in like I said, the dirty air. And
Mhm.
once I got back clean, I was like 2.5 seconds. Like I started like matching them, gaining a little bit, but then lap 25, the thing just fell off a cliff. Like I had no left rear tire left, and I just said, I'm like, original plan was to do one stopper, which I think was the quickest way.
Mhm.
I think honestly, if Shane didn't spin coming on pit road, or the caution come out, I think Jamar was going to still win the race. Actually, like just looking at things as we were going, and I just turned it into that. And I honestly didn't even think Philip was going to cover me. I was just trying to be different, and he saw me pit, so he probably assumed hey, that's probably the fast strategy. Anthony's doing it, and he's like I said, he was right before I spun. He was just starting to drive away from me again. So like I feel bad that I got spun there, because I really think it was Phillips' race to lose, and that restart, everything just worked. It just, the dominoes stacked, and it worked in my favor. So as I said to the guys in the thing, I'm just being really appreciative of the run I had this year, because I don't think I'll ever match this again. This is just incredible, the pace I've been able to bring in consistency each week. And it's just something I'm going to reflect on, and think, man, remember when 2025 when I had that run.
Yeah, it is an insane run for you. I think that we were running, or Bob was running off the stats. I think you have 11 victories this season, which is just insane. Um, so how does it feel to be the champion uh, of this season?
Oh, it's an honor. This is I love this league. It's I enjoy each Monday night, chatting with you guys. And I kept saying like maybe I won't talk to you next week, and it seems like every week I talk to you. So thanks to Garrett and Bob for everything they do behind the scenes, and you know I, it just everyone they put this all deal together for us to just come out here to have fun is like, and just everyone pretty much gets along. Yeah, we'll bicker, and it's racing, you're gonna have contact, but everyone seems to work stuff out, and we hash it out, and then we move on. And I'm looking forward to next year. We're gonna come together as a group and maybe make a couple rule changes. Points wise. Listen to the drivers. What will ultimately bring that get that consistent 20 to 25 car count each week, because to me that's like the key, is having 20 25 cars, because more it gets a little it's a little intense with more, like you get to the full field. It's like in a league, you always have those bad apples, but if you get consistent 20 guys, wanting to show up each week, you can have some really, really good racing and, put on a really good show for you guys.
Absolutely, yeah. It would be great to get more and more drivers up here in TNR, because it's been a a fun time and an honor to call these races for you guys. Um, so looking forward to doing that again in the next season. But before we head out, I'm sure you have some shout outs for us.
Yeah, thank you guys, especially for me stinking up the show and putting up with dealing with me each week. Like I said, the admins, thank you to my fellow drivers, and uh, some chatter about it, maybe an Xfinity car next season. So we'll see where that's gonna go. I'm excited. Whatever direction we go, I'm gonna support the league and give her my all, and hopefully we could. I mean, I'll take half the season or a quarter of the season I had success I had this year. So I'm just really grateful for it, and no, I know it's pretty much never going to be repeated.
Well, congratulations again, and hopefully we'll be chatting with you next season.
Yeah, absolutely. I thank you. If I don't speak with you, have a happy holidays and a happy New Year.
You too.
All right, that's Anthony DeBarro, not only our winner here tonight, but also our champion for the 2025 B season. And well, Joe, that has been one heck of a season. Let's take a look at the final results for tonight's race. And actually, you know what? Before we do, let's chat with Philip Scott here, as Philip Scott, our second place finisher in the standings. And let's see if we can bring Philip in here. And Philip, a tough race, second place in the standings. Looks like, you had that shot there at the end and just got a little loose.
Yeah, it was game over anyway. I was just pushing the car to its limit and got stuck in the wall, and then got a little loose on exit, and yeah, I just hit at a weird angle and I couldn't save it. But it is what it is. I still this was probably my strongest race of the season after feeling like totally lost the entire year. And so it was really nice to actually be toe to toe with Anthony the whole way, and have an actual chance at it.
Yeah, and we're even saying that Homestead has always been one of those tracks that you always have circled on the calendar, and you really dominated. You started on the pole, you led the majority of the laps, and aside from the incident there, it looked like you were coming up on the lap car, got a little bit loose, wasn't really sure where the lap car was going, and next thing you know, you found the wall. Is just a bad break.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. I wasn't too heartbroken because I knew that I gave it everything out there, and if things went a little differently, if things stayed green the rest of the way before that yellow, I think I might have been able to win. It was going to be really close between me and Anthony in terms of cat and mouse who goes into the pits first, pretty much. So yeah, it was uh it was a great race, and then that restart was a lot of fun. We both we both wheel spun, and then he on the corner exit of 2, he just packed the littlest bit of air, and it got me a little sideways out of my groove, and then I tried to do a crossover on the high side, then dove it in, and then he pinched me. He had to do what he had to do, and we bumped, and yeah, he just got by me, and then I tried to stay with him for a while, but yeah, and then I tried to make the top work, which is incredibly difficult with 130-degree track temp and 900 horsepower. It's a lot. It's not easy in like the next gens, but it's a lot more stable.
Yeah, we noticed not a lot of people were brave enough to run that top line. And Phil, before we let you go, this has been a great season for you. And if it's any consolation, you are the runner-up for this season, just getting around Cannizzaro with your 8th place finish, and you beat him by, it looked like, 2 points coming into tonight.
Yeah, good thing I just decided to stay out there for pride and make sure I didn't lose any more spots. I think I would have been still 8th, but yeah, I'm happy with that season. Didn't win any races, but I definitely I'm pretty sure I had more second places than like I've ever had. And even had some good runs at the super speedways, and yeah, the Gen 4 has been fun. The Legacy Gen 4 especially, I was best at that, but the 3 seasons we've done the Legacy Gen 4, like it felt like such a natural car to me. But yeah, this one's been a little tougher to figure out, but the slick track helped me feel more like normal here at Homestead, so that was nice. But I'm looking forward to whatever car we do next, and I'm pretty sure it's Xfinity.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Xfinity as well. But, Phil, before we let you go, I'm sure you're going to have some shout outs, so let's hear them.
Yeah, shouts to you guys, everybody that helps make TNR so fun, no matter what the car counts are. Sometimes we've had seasons where we have like 10, 11 cars in a race, and sometimes we've had full fields. I remember we've had fields of like 40 before, and no matter what it is, the racing's always a lot of fun, no matter what car, no matter what. So yeah, shoutouts to you guys and everybody else that helps make the league what it is. And also Team Ninja Association is starting up soon, so check them out on Instagram and everywhere, and YouTube.
Awesome. Well, Philip, congrats on the 2nd place season finish, and hopefully we'll be chatting with you a lot more next season.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
All right. That's Philip Scott, our 2nd place in the standings finisher tonight. And Joe, let's take a look here at the final results for tonight's race. Anthony DeBarro gets the win over Jamar Dumas and Shane Ewing. Nick Simpson comes home 4th. Adam Stewart, definitely deserving of an attaboy, comes home in 5th. A great turnaround for him this season. Tim Branson comes home 6th. Jason Schue 7th. Philip Scott 8th. Jeremy Canute 9th. Ace House in 10th. And Johnny Williams rounding out our 11-car field tonight. And that will just about do it for us this season. We will see you in 2026. Joe, I'm already looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, how could you not? It was a great season, great drivers, and now we get to do it all over again with maybe more drivers and a new car. Come on.
That is for sure. Well, for one final time, I'm Bob.
I'm Joe.
And this has been the Schue Lawn Care season finale here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Have a great night.